All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are diving into a whole new blueprint for how to build a killer business on Amazon. We're basing this on insights from a super successful seller who's figured out what's working right now, not 5 years ago.
So let's be honest, you've probably asked yourself this exact question. Is the whole thing just too crowded? Did I miss my chance? It really feels like the gold rush is over, right?
Well, what if I told you that's completely wrong? The source for this whole explainer argues that right now, this year, 2026, is actually the perfect time to jump in. The entire game has changed, and that has opened up some incredible new doors. So, what's the big deal about 2026? What's so different? Well, it all boils down to a massive shift in how we buy and sell things online, and it's being driven by two absolute powerhouses. And here they are, TikTok and AI. Think about it. TikTok has completely revolutionized how we discover new products, and at the same time, AI is making all the hard stuff, like products research and finding suppliers, way, way easier than it's ever been.
Now this is where it gets really cool. This slide shows what's called the flywheel effect. It starts with you creating buzz for your product on TikTok. Then people see it, and they head over to Amazon, the place they actually trust to buy things, and search for your product by name. Every time they do that and buy, your Amazon ranking goes up. And then, the best part, some of those happy customers make their own TikToks about your product, which starts the whole cycle all over again, but bigger and faster each time.
And this isn't just some nice idea. Our source says that getting this flywheel spinning can add an extra 10 to 15% to your Amazon sales. That's on top of any sales you're making directly on other platforms. It's like this secret halo effect that most sellers just aren't taking advantage of.
Okay, so let's say you're on board. It's a great time to start. But how do you actually do it? Well, there are really four main ways to sell on Amazon. And trust me, they are not created equal.
First, you've got the old school models. We'll start with retail arbitrage. This is basically the treasure hunter model. You're running around to local stores, finding something on a clearance rack for, say, $100, and you see it selling for $300 on Amazon. You buy it, list it, and you keep the profit.
And look, the appeal is clear. It doesn't cost much to get started, but the problems are huge. The competition is insane. It's almost impossible to scale up, and it is definitely not passive income. You are constantly actively hunting for the next deal. Now, a slight step up from that is wholesale. So instead of one-off clearance items, you're buying existing products from known brands in bulk from a distributor. Then you just resell them one by one on Amazon. Again, it's pretty straightforward, but the competition is just brutal. And here's the real killer. The brand you're selling can just wake up one day, decide to sell on Amazon themselves, and poof, your business is gone overnight. These first two models, they're really the old way of thinking. They just aren't built for the long haul anymore.
The third model is private labeling, and this is where it starts to get a lot more interesting. This is where you find a generic product, maybe on a site like Alibaba, and then you put your own brand on it, your logo, your packaging. You're not just a reseller anymore, you're actually building a brand.
Okay, so let's put it all together and see how these stack up. Our source actually gives them grades. Retail arbitrage gets a C, wholesale gets a C-. They're okay if you just want to make a little extra spending money. Private label gets a solid B. It's a good strategy, but it's getting tougher and tougher. But that brings us to the real star of the show, the one our source calls the S-tier strategy, niche branding. So what on earth is this S-tier niche branding strategy? Well, it's really a fundamental change in how you think about selling online. It flips the whole model on its head.
And this quote right here is the entire key. You have to stop thinking of Amazon as a store. It's not. Amazon is a search engine for products. People go there with a mission. They are literally typing the exact thing they want to buy into that search bar.
And that leads to this huge aha moment. Your goal is not to convince people to want something new. It's to find what they're already looking for and then be the one to give it to them. You're filling a gap that already exists.
And check out this perfect real-world example from our source. He was doing research and saw that a ton of people were searching for keto electrolytes, but there wasn't a single product on Amazon that was actually made for that audience. So he found a manufacturer, had them tweak a standard formula to remove the sugar, and then branded it specifically for keto dieters. The result? Over $700,000 in sales in the last year alone. That's the power of this strategy.
Okay, that all sounds amazing in theory, but how do you actually get it done? Let's quickly walk through the big picture plan for launching your product.
First things first, you get your seller account set up. Then you do that critical research to find your gap in the market. Once you have the idea, you find someone to make it, you design your brand, and you build out your product page on Amazon. And finally, and this part's a game changer, you ship all your stuff to an Amazon warehouse and use their FBA program, which stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. That means they do all the picking, packing, and shipping for you. It's huge.
So, to wrap this all up, our source points to 3 final things. 3 keys that he says can pretty much guarantee you'll be successful if you follow them.
Key number 1, we've talked about it, but it's that important. Use that TikTok flywheel. Don't think of it as TikTok versus Amazon. Think of them as a team, working together to make your brand impossible to ignore. Key number 2 is to find a mentor. Look, learning all of this on your own is tough. There are a lot of pitfalls. Our source claims that having an expert who's been there and done that can make you up to 25 times more likely to succeed. Think about that for a second. 25 times.
And the third and final key? It's the simplest one, but maybe the most powerful. Just start. Start today. The single biggest mistake people make is waiting for the perfect idea or the perfect time. It doesn't exist. You just have to get moving.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. Right now, at this very moment, people are on Amazon searching for things they want to buy that don't even exist yet. What unmet need out there could you be the very first person to sell?